Moving on to the next session on the oneM2M related activities in India. We have different speakers from the R&D and academia. So may I introduce Mr. Arindam Bhattacharya, who is the oneM2M Com Vice Chair, and he has over 34 years of industry experience in various fields of computing and communications. Currently, he leads the activities of IoT M2M communication in CDOT, and he has been a key contributor for various policy and roadmap documents for DOT and M2M communication. Welcome, sir.
Thanks.
So the next speaker will be Mr. Neeraj Dhawan from Invas Technologies. He is the chairman and managing director of Invas Technologies, and his career has been around test and measurement solutions. And Invas is into providing test solutions for various applications of telecom networks and is actively involved in IoT solutions using oneM2M standards. The next speaker will be Mr. Hemant Magdum from CDAC. He will be joining us in online mode. Mr. Hemant is working as a scientist in CDAC, and he has over 18 years of experience in design, development, integration, test deployment of hardware and software prestigious products in area of control systems, signal processing, and oneM2M based common services layer. He is also involved in the preparation of project proposals for R&D projects, and he has patents, copyrights, and published various papers in IEEE. And I must introduce Ms. Anuradha Vetam from IIIT Hyderabad. She is the lead architect there, and she has over 25 years of rich industrial experience in the design, development, implementation, analysis, and support of embedded systems and their application in various domains like defense, space, industrial automation, and atomic energy. And she is also the lead architect at the IIIT Hyderabad Smart City project, where she is developing a smart city living lab that will serve as a real-world testbed for deploying, evaluating, and creating smart city solutions. Now I must welcome Mr. Arindam Bhattacharya to make presentations on the CDOT activities. Control. Yes, it's working. No, it's not. These are the button. Yes, yes.
I don't think.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think it's already past noon. So good afternoon, everybody. Those present here in this room and those who have joined remotely. So I would be brief. I would not take long. People have heard me before, and those who haven't, we had started this journey of M2M communication way back in 2014, and subsequently we stumbled upon oneM2M. It was a discovery. We started as a joint working group member in DOT and then in DC, and we were given the task of formulating specifications for M2M communication. So while working on that, while discovering what is available across the globe, we were very pleasantly surprised by the phenomenal work that had already been done in oneM2M. And since then, it has been only a love journey. It's not a love-hate journey. So we were very pleasantly surprised, and that oneM2M keeps surprising. You have seen we are now started working on release 5, and it's a sea change from where we started. When we had just started, we took our platform to Etsy, Sophia Antipolis. That time we were on release 2. Today our platform is on release 3 and with some features of release 4. So we are at the edge. I will give a brief account of what M2M ecosystem now looks in India and how oneM2M has progressed over the years. So this is my agenda. So I'll straight away move to that. Now, what Sushilji just told you all, that oneM2M specification release 3 has been adopted as a national standard by DEC-DOT. So the earlier adoption was release 2, now release 3 also has been adopted. I would request the document to be shown. Can you please present the document? Yeah, so while he's presenting the document, can do it from here? No, I don't think so. That PDF you'll have to do.
Yes, sir. Switch करना.
Okay, leave it then. Whenever you can do it. So perhaps we are the only country in the world where the government is backing a standard like this. Not only DOT or TEC, the Telecom Engineering Center, but also BIS. In BIS, under LITD 28, where Smart Infrastructure Working Group was working on the smart infrastructure in smart cities, IoT came as a natural entity of a smart city, and it was agreed by all that unless we have a special panel on smart city and publish a reference architecture for smart IoT, a smart city or smart infrastructure would be incomplete. So thereby a panel was set up which deliberated upon what should be the reference architecture, and various reference architectures across standardizing bodies, mainly ISO-IEC, which BIS follows quite religiously, was studied, and the effort was made to harmonize what is there in ISO-IEC, and also from a specification standpoint, how the reference architecture would look like. And BIS standardized is IS 18004 Part 1, IoT System Reference Architecture. Now, it's a phenomenal, kind of statement to make that oneM2M paved its way as the normative reference in BIS standard as well. So whichever way you go in India, whichever standard now you're going to pick up, oneM2M finds its place there. So it has been widely accepted by the standardizing bodies. There are no other standardizing body which is going to work on any other standard beside these two bodies. Now, as far as implementations are concerned, there are two known implementations in India. One is ours, that is C. Common Service Platform. We have an abbreviated version, CCSP. We call it CCSP. It is getting popular day by day. We are on release 3 and some features of release 4. And we also have CDAC's Common Smart IoT Connectivity Platform, which is Cosmic, which is based on release 2. I think Mr. Makhdoom will talk about that as well. The C. and Vodafone Idea, we have signed an MOU on 17th of May last year on the occasion of World Telecommunication and Information Society Day, WTISD, which the objective was to simplify the IoT solution deployment and bring standardization and interoperability among devices and applications as per oneM2M standard in the country. So the intent was that devices to be brought on in the IoT lab, and that IoT lab is called Vodafone Idea C.Vic IoT Lab, and the devices would be tested there. So Vodafone Idea's responsibility will be to test it from a connectivity perspective, be it 3GPP connectivity or any other type of connectivity. And C.'s role will be to test that from oneM2M standpoint and give a kind of certification about the feasibility of that devices working with CCSP platform, because we can only give and talk about conformance or connectivity certification with CCSP, how well it can work with CCSP. IIIT Hyderabad, ma'am is sitting, Anurada ma'am is sitting alongside me on the dais. So they have set up a smart city living lab. She will be talking in detail about the same. Now they, in association with Indian Urban Data Exchange, using oneM2M, she just spoke about it. And so oneM2M has been accepted by academia as well. The other academia, they are also getting themselves aligned around this particular standard. I have shown keen interest because nowadays the academia is not just teaching, but they are also contributing towards the implementation and the research around standards. So all the academic institutions in the country are some way or the other engaged with the standard bodies. Majority of them are with TSGSI, those who are working in the field of telecommunication or electronics or software or any related field, associated field. So in a nutshell, oneM2M is having quite a buzz within this country. India is a very big country. While some skeptics might talk about that, where are the implementations? The implementations, see, it's always a 10-year journey for any standard. Talk about 3GPP, it took 10 years to actually have a first reasonable sized implementation. We are just completing 10. Last July, we completed 10 years. So we are 10 years young. And now it is the time where you will see a large proliferation of use cases coming out of it. I'm quite hopeful about it. And those skeptics now are themselves getting aligned to implement oneM2M, and they are looking for partners to do that. I'll talk about it in the next few slides. Now, about contribution, I was pleasantly surprised. This I did yesterday. I was just looking for the top 10 contributors. So I found CDOT to be only second after Convida. If I don't, kind of add interdigital to Convida, we have Convida as 562 and we are at 466 contributions. So overall, we are one of the largest contributors. And thank you very much. But it doesn't please me, honestly speaking. We have how many IAMs? Bindu is there. Madanji would be there. How many IAMs currently with TSGSI? 15.9. Only CDOT. Really, it doesn't make me happier. So I want to compete with all my remaining 58 IAMs. There should be active contribution. All of us from the oneM2M, technical plenary chair to SGS chair, everybody was talking about more contributions, that these contributions actually will bring in more value to the specifications, more value to the standard. So let's take a pledge, whosoever is joined through remotely or over here, to actually start contributing to the standard, enrich it, make it richer, make it with a lot of features that people will then in the next version of the TP will talk about more features rather than showing skepticism about the latency and all other aspects of it. So that's my appeal to all fellow IAMs in this particular part of the geography. Moving to our further initiative. Now this had been our kind of objective from day one. We were focused towards standardizing IoT M2M ecosystem, and we were also focused towards making the core, making the platform. But if you just see it from a user's point of view, no IoT M2M user is bothered about standard or a platform. For him, the platform doesn't exist. For an end user, it is only how the use case is benefiting him. That is all he is interested in. But then, who's interested about a platform? There are many others who are the beneficiaries of it. The government, in totality, the total cost of ownership. So all these are factors which might not be very much visible to the end user, but are very, very important. And there comes the purpose and the reason for somebody contributing or focusing towards the platform. So we took up this challenge because nobody else would have, to actually focus on standardization and focus on the development of the platform. The applications we developed were just to showcase the strength of the platform, but we, from the day one, kind of supported, encouraged the ecosystem partners to come on board, develop use cases which are standards compliant, and then take it together to those who are actually asking for it and show them the benefits, that what a collaborative effort towards standardization, I mean, how it makes a difference to the community. Now we have institutionalized it by forming the Center of Innovation. Last November, 22nd November to be precise, Minister of Communication, Honorable Ashwini Vaishnav launched Center of Innovation in CDOT, wherein we have opened our platform and opened a space, physical space, for the developers to come, join us, use our platform to develop standards compliant application. We will help them in developing standard compliant applications. So this was our objective, and this is the mission with which we start. The center will, the objective was that the center is to bring together various industry partners to create an end-to-end solution like smart city solution. Smart city we pick up because smart city is one of the, supposedly one of the largest user of IoT solution. There are others, so it doesn't mean that we are not encouraging other kind of implementations as well. Now, the objectives are listed. We are creating an ecosystem of indigenous solution developers. The focus is indigenization here. So indigenous solution developers and system integrators. So we are also encouraging system integrators to come in and play the role. And in India, there are, I mean, thousands and thousands of startups, but hardly any have found a real foothold in any kind of smart cities, right? So our goal is that these players who are very innovative, have a lot of potential, should be able to collaborate and join hands together so that they are considered a force to reckon with in such areas, one of them being the smart city. Now, objective was also to create, provide a easy to use facility for testing and testing the solutions that they have developed. Otherwise, in isolation, if they develop solutions, testing them would be a challenge. So we'll test their solutions as well. Then to create synergies among startups. The startups might be isolated entities, how to bring them on board and to bring the best of the world together under one roof and show them that how a collective force can be more beneficial than them in isolation. And to bridge the gap between R&D and commercialization. So people might be doing R&Ds, educational institutes might be doing R&Ds, but how to bring that R&D into a commercialized ecosystem space, to create successful startups in the area of IoT M2M, to promote innovations in the area of IoT M2M. So these kind of setups can bring in innovations, and we can institutionalize such innovations in a way that they are visible and they can be rewarded through greater ecosystem support. Now, what we are providing functions is evaluating the applications, providing technical assistance for fine-tuning the applications, scaling the applications, also telling them how to do it right, and it will provide an environment for all IoT device manufacturers and application providers to utilize the features of our CCSP platform in a way. In return, we will also be benefited because certain use cases might demand for certain CSF to be modified or maybe tested, which has not been tested. Not all CSS that we have developed have been tested, even by our own applications. So if some particular use case demands for a particular CSF to be modified, which we have not tested to that length, it will enrich our platform as well. So there is a benefit to us as well. So the domains that we have actually asked the applicants to provide solutions for our these, but it's not limited to this. Any new domain which is found exciting and there is a market available for that, we'll take that up as well. But because of our bandwidth, we have limited to this for the time being. This is the generic architecture which we had conceived for setting up this center of innovation. What it means is that people might not have to mandatorily be present physically in our premises. If they are developing any corner of this particular country, right, they can connect with us. We will provide our connectivity and remote solutions, remote assistance, so as to enable them to develop the solutions and test it. Some credentials. Can we have the audio, please?
It takes time and also a lot of change work.
These are
however, what we are seeing is all of the development. It takes time, also a lot of expectation in the market before it is harnessed by large players. The biggest factor in the country is the cost and continuity of a product. And then imagine railways or the farmers deploying an IoT solution. Now, this particular IoT solution, it becomes very critical for the farmer to establish and maintain continuity of the particular product which is deployed over the 5 years, 8 years. Railways, defense, if there is any product deployed, it becomes very critical for them to ensure that it remains continuous, available, and save taxpayers' money. This is something which where in addition to the small players who are doing the development, there is a leader required who can establish interoperability, who can establish continuity, who can establish a standard which is not only an Indian standard but also aligned with the global standard, which ensures that there are products available, even if a vendor is no longer available, the end user who has invested, who has purchased a solution is not taken for a ride or his investment is justified and also has returns. And there I believe the kind of development, the kind of initiatives that taken at CCSP and at COI are going to establish that for the country and maintain the innovation, continuity, and a low cost affordability among the mass users, which is going to bring in a great change, which we are seeing as IoT developers. We see somebody who can take this leadership and bring it up. So that is what we expect from COI, and that is what we think is going to work this year. Thank you. Innovation is a much used word. Heartiest congratulations to all those involved in the creation of Center of Innovation, COI, at CDOT from Pilots ICT Private Limited, Bangalore. The Vocal for Local movement launched by the Honorable Prime Minister of the country has played a major role in restoring our pride in Indian engineering and products. While the deployment and adoption of oneM2M platform pioneered by CDOT has been a visionary initiative and is set to democratize data and provide a fountain of opportunities for showcasing the talent and creativity of Indian youth and startups, the COI, or the Center of Innovation, centered around this oneM2M platform is definitely the high point of this endeavor. The COI is vital because it will ensure that ideas get commercialized and monetized in the shortest span of time. The COI is definitely poised to rapidly catalyze startup success in the shortest possible time because of the plethora of support, standardization information, access to best practices in IoT deployment, innovative new generation peer group, and a repository of deeply researched resources seamlessly being provided by the environment. The credibility that comes with associating with CDOT is definitely the icing on the cake. For me, as a startup founder in fire safety and home automation, CDOT CCSP was already a boon, but now with COI, it adds wings to my vision. I would like to emphasize that every penny and resource deployed into this will directly contribute towards nation building in the most visible, radical, and direct manner. Thanks and wish Godspeed to COI.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Now I welcome Mr. Neeraj Dhawan to present on the initiatives taken up by the Invas Technologies.
Thank you. I think since it's already 1 o'clock, so I'll skip the presentation. We have a presentation which we will be running, but presently I just want to, not act as a villain to come between you and the lunch. So just briefly, I'll give the view from the industry. I came to know about oneM2M in last year. Almost you can consider me as a layman. And I mean, what I'm impressed with is that Indian government is fully committed. We are the only country who has made oneM2M as a national standard. So it is the responsibility of the industry to take it forward and implement this and take it to the public. I see very few industrial involvement. It was good of Mr. Arindam to take some of the industrial videos from some of the industry leaders. So we as Invas have also gone in with the C-Dot platform, and we also have introduced some products which we will be talking after lunch. So as a layman, my only suggestion is that it is for whole telecom industry or the IoT players in India to take forward oneM2M technology to the public. And I commit from my side, whatever we can do, we will do. Presently, we are talking about agriculture, but soon we will be talking about other sectors where oneM2M can be. I won't take much time. We will run our presentation later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next presentation will be from Mr. Hemant from CDAC. He will be making his presentation online. Kindly extend sharing rights to him, please.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Audible?
Yes,
Can
you are
I
audible.
share screen?
Yes, yes, you can share your presentation now.
But here option I'm not able to see. The screen is visible now.
Yes, we can.
My screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Myself Hemant, I'm going to present oneM2M CDAC University on oneM2M. As part of we developed our own common service layer, Cosmic Common Smart IoT Connective, which is compliant with release 2, and it is oneM2M standard based middleware software which communicates between IoT field devices and applications. It ensures interoperability, security, and data sharing. It interfaces different applications in intelligent transport system like traffic control, a parking lot management system, then IoT air monitoring sensors, and radar version system, as well as vehicle detection camera. Also, it is microservice based, the scalable and distributed architecture. We perform load testing and perform testing of Cosmic using our own tool, which evaluates the device and application handling capacity of middle node and implementation node of Cosmic platform. And we carried out load testing and performance testing using other software also. Also, we developed our own ADN, which converts legacy system to oneM2M standard based system and software adapters. As Cosmic Complex Release 2, it is having 12 building blocks. This is common. This is as per the standard document. And next one is Cosmic regarding Cosmic scalability. It is having vertical scalability as well as horizontal scalability. Vertical scalability means multiple IoT units can be connected to middle node directly, which is administered by implementation node. So number of devices connected to middle node and implementation node depends on the throughput performance. Also, it ensures security and data sharing. In horizontal scalability, by invoking multiple IoT middle nodes and different IoT devices and application can be categorized, which is registered in specific middle nodes. So we can maintain this region-wise implementation node related to middle node can be deployed and communicated with multiple nodes also possible. Main technical highlights are Cosmic as communication handling management and delivery features, which handled in millisecond internally. Cosmic as data management and repository features, which provides data storage function and storing data received from the multiple IoT units to different middle nodes. Cosmic as device management feature, which provides management and device capability on middle node, ASN and AE and ADN. It is having access control policy. It is having software libraries and generic hardware adapter for converting the legacy system to oneM2M standard. Cosmic, there are different peripheral modules in Cosmic. One is management console and configuration, which is having GIS based smart dashboard, configuration, IoT resource tree view, data flow, charts and graphs. Second is application entity for ITS applications. Third one is IP SDK for interpolation. Any legacy proprietary system can be converted, can be interfaced with Cosmic. Next one is ADN. We developed our own ADN for all our ITS applications, as well as data logger and alarm module and report module. This is some screenshot of our Cosmic module. First is device registration. It is registered automatically. Auto registered any IoT device can be auto registered to common serial, as well as we can configure through dashboard also. Second one is device discovery. The registered device get discovered through API, as well as that platform can discover device, and the discovery request is processed, then registered device list is outputted. Next one is subscription notification. In subscription notification feature, which manages different subscribed applications resources subject to access control policy and send corresponding notification to particular subscriber addresses. As well, the resource subscriber received data are sent by AE, particular AE. This is our Cosmic dashboard there, which displays total IoT units, product status, product-wise data hits, in and total in and MN nodes, and area-wise data hits on current date. And right side that's showing the live data, where we can see this analytic representation of data hits and various formats such as graphs, charts, and message boards. This is our total Cosmic platform, where we can see total IoT units, region-wise locations, product-wise data hits, and in-CC and MNC connected. As a part of this, we developed our own appropriate adapter for serial traffic control, which which converts legacy hardware compatible and make compatible with oneM2M standard. This rectified hardware connected to CDAC traffic control to communicate and convert to oneM2M. So that's sent directly to commercial layer. This total ITS deployment architecture, where Cosmic connected to traffic control, then pedestrian safety enhancement control, parking sensors, as well as emergency vehicle, emergency service vehicle payover system. Also, that is displayed on dashboard, tram dashboard, traffic monitoring management system management. This is our traffic monitoring management system use case, where different traffic control connected to directly to Cosmic via as ADN as well as IP, and this subscribe to tram software. So what all data received from this traffic control that displayed on the traffic monitoring management system. This is our field deployment architecture, where we connected, we deployed ADNs, our ADN in Hubli and Cosmic present in the CDAC Trivandrum, and we tested with real-time data. Also, we integrate IODX as well as parking sensors. So we test. So here total multiple elements we created, and one instance CDAC instance and VMS for message display, traffic control display, where Hubli traffic control is connected. IODX also connected to IODX data connected to IODSMN, and IoT simulator also connected. So nearly 4,500 devices we connected to our Cosmic, and we tested. We performed load testing of the Cosmic for checking the handling capacity of the each module node in fixed environment, as well as by increasing the RAM, as well as seamless communication between IoT units and Cosmic platform. We tested Cosmic platform in third-party tool, as well as we developed our own tool for checking the Cosmic platforms to check capacity of the Cosmic. Also, we test. As result, we got that single one middle node handle maximum 3,000 IoT devices per middle node, and we use the setup Docker setup as well as CentOS server setup for Cosmic implementation. This is result of the total request handled in each middle node of Cosmic, and request response showed in the graph. So after 3,000 IoT units, that gives response gives error. So from this we can see that each middle node handles up to 3,000 IoT units. Future plans is to comply Cosmic with release 3 and 4, and publish common ontology for ITS products, and we are planning to add IoT units in IoT which is used in heritage domain also. Thank you. And we are in this Cosmic platform, where the total IoT unit is shown, and this map different IoT units displayed on this map, and in CSC and MNCSC. Also, different reports also generated. A live report where last data details, IoT status details, product based IoT unit data details, then history report, IoT details, IoT hits, subscription details, unit location, IoT unit count, IoT data details, and summary product summary report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hemant, for this presentation. Now I would request Ms. Anuradha to present on the triple IT initiatives.
Hi, good afternoon. Sorry, like I'm between you and lunch. I'm coming in between, but please bear with me and thank you for bearing with me. So like I'm trying to represent, like we tried a major attempt, like thought that oneM2M is there. Like, how do we, like everyone was talking about smart cities. We realized, like, how do we ensure whatever solution we are planning, some standard stack, how do we plan? So what we did is, like, this is our team. We took our living lab, like we said, in campus, we have energy, water, people, students, and the crowds, all parameters and faculty living in. So we thought, why don't we try it in our campus and see the feasibility for smart city, instead of saying that how come India is not able to show one sample smart city. I thought, let us implement so that we know the operational difficulties and also even the standards to be followed, the things to be followed. In that context, we started a living lab in 2020 May. MeitY funded our, it was an initiative by MeitY, and like last CNRs provided us the oneM2M open source version, and EBTC was our technology partner. So with that concept, we started the, so when you see, we made the whole campus as a smart city living lab, and we deployed all the sensors. Which is the point? No, I want the pointer. Okay. Yeah. So like what we thought is, we make the campus and we thought it as a one-stop platform, like where we can, startups can, whoever has smart solutions, they can come to us, they validate the solution and present it to the government. And even when the government wants to validate, someone says, I have a smart city solution, how do they know it's a viable solution, whether it can be deployed on large scale? That can be done only if there is a platform where people can test their solution. And even like we are working with the policy makers, we run roundtables, workshops, so that we are on par with the existing solutions and the problem. And anyhow, we are being an academic institution, we do the research activities as well, and we are in sync with the, we'll be talking to the smart city advisors, so that this platform, we can call it as a one-stop platform to connect and like share and try to develop solutions. And the smart campus, whichever I say, is the heart of the living lab model. As you see, you have the smart campus, and like you have the communication layer. When you think of a communication layer, like we need to think of multiple things. There are some places where Wi-Fi is not available. There are some places 4G not reachable. How do we do it? And I can't install a tower. How do we communicate the IoT data? Considering all this, we try to support. We work with LoRaWAN, RF mesh, Wi-Fi, 4G, eSIM, and like Wi-Fi. And now, like we started having discussions with DOT regarding the 5G implementation. So we wanted to experiment everything at the campus level and say, this is how things have to be implemented to ensure a successful model. And then we thought, then what is the middleware? In that context, we took the oneM2M version, because we took it as it is an open source version, and we had already some interaction with the last CNRS, and we thought we can just tweak or work around it and see how it is can be made as a standard to the middleware for supporting the IoT interoperability. Once we did that, then we realized oneM2M can't be used for a data storage. When we want to develop solutions, like everywhere, like we feel if we had a data sets, I could do a better solution. So then in this context, what we did is, like smart city, it was advising us, like, why don't you work with Indian Urban Data Exchange? So we worked with IISc Bangalore, and we tried to make a standard data interchange. Like we worked with them and made a standard data model, because we being the domain, like water, energy, air quality, all those areas, we have worked with it, and we don't know, we know what parameters would define a data model. So we worked with them and we try to create a catalog with them, and so that like any person who is living in Delhi or Pune, they can access our data remotely through proper authorization. So we made that even data interchange layer as a standard, and we are making it develop data available to the rest of the agencies. So like these are the like physical sensor nodes which we have deployed so far. We have the weather sensor, energy meters, sanitizers, water quality, quantity, occupancy, and outdoor, indoor air quality. These are some of the solutions which we have done. Total, as of now, we deployed 264 nodes in the campus, and this is the way the communication, as I was saying, like there are different verticals we were taking. And when you look at it, like each one is working on Bison, one is on server, and one is on MQTT, and one is on backnet. And we try to develop a, what do you call, a wrapper or the application where it will take all this data. Each data would be different frequency, different structure, everything we made it available through oneM2M. And like you can see that we are able to show that different communication networks, it can work, and how we can use oneM2M for the interoperability. And this is the data flow. When you see the sensors like are posting data to the oneM2M, and through subscription, we have a data warehouse. We can say we have like some parameters, 2-year data, 6 months data, 3 months data. We built a data warehouse where it has a multi-tenant database where we can support all the verticals. And from there, we are trying to push on to the IUDX. And we can say that IUDX resource server has set up their instance in our campus. So our data is with us, but when someone wants to access our data, they can go to the IUDX catalog and click, okay, where is IIIT data, and get the authorization. And one more thing we have done is we also developed the Alexa interface, app interface, and we have done a home automation interface with oneM2M, so that we are trying to try out all the aspects like which people will be using. So one day, like people may be saying, I'll ask Alexa and I need to know what is happening around. So I made the Alexa interface, and like app, if it is handy, people can do it. And home automation, can I control things based on some of the parameters? Even that was implemented. And as I said, like we try to use all these features, device management, whatever, multiple features of oneM2M to get this. Like this is the kind of implementation I have. So where we created, I think 8 AEs and 264 nodes, and we had a defined naming convention, like each lat long, based on the lat long and based on the name, I can say like where exactly the node is deployed, so that it would be easy for identification. And this is the data exchange layer interface where IoT nodes, oneM2M through subscription, it's going to a data storage layer, and we have a resource access service at IIIT, and this is the data exchange layer. Through authentication, we try to give the data to them, like we can fetch and give the data. It can be a latest data. We have developed a multiple API. One is for latest data, one is for temporal data based on your criteria of parameter, and we are also working on the geospatial API based on the lat long coordinates. So these are the data sets. If you go to the IUDX catalog, you can see the IIIT data sets. And we can say that from Hyderabad, ours is the only data sets available there. And apart from that, like always when I talk to people, it is saying is different, and we can believe once we see. So this is the live dashboard you can see in our website. It is a live dashboard which is trying to show the various parameters. The circles in the center depict the number of nodes deployed. You have the average temperature, how the solar radiation is varying, how the humidity. You can configure this parameter, whatever you can customize the dashboard saying that these parameters are important to me. So accordingly, the dashboard can be modified. And we have different views, like this is a 3D view of a campus dashboard. Like I can go to the exact location where the node is to identify, okay, this is the place where the node is deployed. And these are the map and the billing view to get an overview, and I can run analytics. I can compare different nodes, like for a period of 1 week, 1 day, 1 month, how the data is varying. So that like one day there was a peak at the football ground for the air quality, and then when we went and saw there, like it was like football match was going on, so a lot of pollution around. So even in a school, we tried to deploy, and the students came back saying that pollution is high. Why? What could be the reason? And there was a building construction, and they went and advised them and said, like, you water the ground so that the pollution doesn't extend. And such things have been happening. And this is a one of the latest view, like, to make it people understand if it is a gamifying view. So it's a quick thing, like where the person walks through the campus and tries to find the nodes. Wherever you see the nodes, you can see the water node, you can select the node, and you can see what is happening in that, what are the parameters. So it is a live walking to the campus anytime. You can run this app and you can just see the campus, walk to different places, and try to even the nodes are up or down. So we try to gamify that so that it is like creating interest on the what is deployed, what is happening in the campus. So all these solutions to be, I feel proud. We feel proud that it is done by our students of IIIT. We never engage any companies for implementing this. It is like done by us. So definitely I would request, like, if anyone is interested, it's a live lab. That is the reason the term comes living lab. It's not that, okay, I deployed something, I'm done with it. Actually, I come from industry, maybe my biodata you might have seen. So where I have deployed like electronic warfare systems and underground borehole survey systems and satellite payloads. So like when I came to IIIT, our intention was like when they said, here all research is going on, I want someone from industry who can anchor the research to make a viable solution. So our interest is like we should make a solution which stays for long. Oh, sorry, 1 second. So once we'll be thinking we deploy the nodes, we are happy, I'm able to see at the dashboard, Alexa, are we done? And I strongly believe it's not done for a smart city implementation. How do I maintain? I said 264 nodes. I can't go every day and check each node whether it's posting our data. And one day I woke up and say, how come there is no data posting from this node? Such things should not occur. And for cities, if you try to implement, it would be really difficult. So we try to develop a framework using notification, subscription, different features of oneM2M, and like where we try to see whether nodes are posting or like are there any outliers in the data, or it is just posting nans. So all those things, every evening 5 o'clock I get a mail, and the corresponding owners, like if someone is working on the air quality, that person also gets a mail saying that check this node, it's not posting, or the frequency at which it is supposed to post, it is not happening. So we developed this also. As I said, our living lab model should be like an example implementation. When someone wants to take to smart cities, it should be a viable solution. And implementing is one thing, maintaining is one thing, and the testing has to be done too. We have done security testing where we were like, except for some notification things, we were able to clear that security. And load testing, we are having some ups and downs. We are trying to look into that. And these are the statistics. And apart from that, we put some couple of students saying that, why don't you hack our system? Because we should be like data secure, right? Data, now everyone is worried. Like a lot of cameras are deployed in Hyderabad, and the police commissioner office, and we were having a round table, and like one of our engineers or professors was saying, I can access your camera and say when you are leaving, when you are coming into the office. So like making the data secure is a pretty critical part if smart cities come into real existence. Like we should not affect the data privacy. And one more thing, when we implemented indoor air quality nodes, one of the faculty got us, and we were able to predict is he cooking roti or rice. So there are like a VOC component of air quality, like when is he cooking, if something is burning. So all those parameters, so it is like data privacy is disturbed, how things will be taken. So as an academic institution, for a smart city living lab, we are trying to develop a solution but in turn we are trying to research on different area, and our teams have participated in the KT hackathon last 2 years and they got these awards. And it was like we want to motivate the students to and showcase their achievements. And even Samsung, we tried, as I said, like we would like to interface with the multiple possibilities and see whether our solution is workable or not. So we worked with Samsung. Like one day Samsung called and they said they have this OCF implementation. Can we use a OCF bridge oneM2M implementation and do some test case? And we have done that, and I think Samsung has demonstrated a few months back already with TSDSI. And now, like, okay, smart city living lab. So as I said, like I always give an example. So whenever we are waiting for a RTC bus or something, someone standing in a bus stop would say, let me get a bus. That would be the best thing for me. But once the bus comes, you'll say like, let me get into the bus. Then you'll try to say, can I go into the bus? After that, can I have a seat? Once we sit, are we comfortable? We'll say, if it was a AC bus, it would have been better. So that is the mentality of people for smart city. Like we have done a deployment. Now, like we are thinking what else to do. And one thing, Hyderabad Metro Water Supply Board, they recently, like a few months ago, they visited Smart City Living Lab, and he said, we need to do something with your implementation. Why don't we have a center of excellence of water in IIIT, so that we'll take an area around IIIT and try to deploy all kind of water solutions and see how we can extend to the smart cities. So we signed a MOU, and like even DOT has visited our lab, and he said like we should do something. And that time last year he invited for the IMC 2022 like exhibition. He said you should put your stall and you should show your capability. So that is how, and now we are working trying to see how we can deploy 5G use cases with like on crowd management and water monitoring using NBIT. And as I was telling earlier, like hyperscalability, okay, now you're deploying, but hyperscalability, like when so many nodes, so many requests, so many people want to work solution, is it viable? Just oneM2M, IUDX, is it viable? And we did some testing, we found some issues, and we are working on that. And one more area, like maybe I'll show while going. This is the water COE. These are the areas we are trying to do digital twin, non-revenue water, water quality. And this is the crowd management. I think everyone is aware, like metro station, Charminar in Hyderabad during Ramzan, like there are a lot of crowds, Vinayak Nimajjan. So a lot of crowds there. Like if we can sense the emotions and avoid some hassles or unexpected incidents beforehand, it would be very useful. So in that context, like we are working with, because 5G has this low latency and dense deployment which is possible, we are working with them and trying to do this crowd management and water deployment using NB-IoT. And the digital twin, that is one more thing like which we are looking into. So now we are deploying the nodes, but for someone to plan something on a large scale in a city, they should have a software visual virtual representation on the screen, so that visualize how things would be when I like deploy this node or remove this node. Should I deploy a water quantity node or a water quality? That through this digital twin, you can implement near your desktop and then decide the practical implementation. So physical implementation, so that infra cost is reduced and planning would be done in a very efficient way. Then like hyper scalability, as I was saying, so now I'm deploying like this and everyone is happy, you see a smiley there, but like the nodes increase, so oneM2M is getting little unhappy, and like as applications increase, again it's like more unhappy. So like we are trying to have a load balancer and we are trying to work on a pipeline configurable. So oneM2M can be used as an interoperable layer, but if we can divert reads and writes in a streamlined way, we can use it more efficiently. And like we are also working on this, so where we have a workflow engine and microservices, and we can define what microservices to be used and how do we use it, so that we can make a effective implementation use case for everything. This is one of the things. And this is the Bison implementation. Like we have 3 partners. Like in our ecosystem, we try to work with the corporates. What we feel is like when we want to work with corporate, do some solution, if the corporates appreciate it, that means it's taken to the next level. So our 3 partners are Silicon Labs, Intel, and Saint Gobain. So Silicon Labs said that they have this Bison RF mesh implemented in European countries, and they want to make an entry in India. So they said, like, why can't we do it in your campus? In that context, like we deployed 30 nodes last September 29th, street lights, and it's a RF mesh. RF mesh, most of you understand, it is like if I want to reach the person at the end, I need not have Wi-Fi. I can just do a RF mesh where no infra, no tower, and it is an unlicensed band. There are no charges. You can just hand it to this person, next table, and finally, when you want to push it to the cloud, you can use the Wi-Fi. And like here, we try to control the street light brightness. And when you see them, it is a mesh connected. So like there is like if one node fails, the self-healing network, it is a self-healing network. In between one node fail, it tries to look for another node and catches to that. This has been implemented. And as I said, like we are not only implementing a smart campus, we are trying to source innovation. This is our model, like collaborate, innovate, and accelerate the solutions. Either like we run challenges also where we try to identify the startups, because in India, like there may be a lot of people, as earlier Aurindam was also mentioning, a lot of people may be developing a lot of solutions, but they don't know how to connect to the government, how to connect to the smart city advisors. So we provide that platform, and we ran challenges to identify who are the startups working in these solutions, and we made them do our POCs. And like recently when DOT visited, Hyderabad Metro Water Supply Board visited, we also demonstrated the solutions. Now, along with our solutions, startup solutions are also going to the Hyderabad Metro Water Supply Board deployment. So they're getting opportunity to present in the government and to be part of the ecosystem. So these are the 3 partners. Like with Intel, we are working on the ORR road monitoring, and Saint Gobain, we are working on the smart spaces like tinted glass, all those things. And these are the research projects. Like being academia, we should continue our research. And these are the, so far in the last 2 years, these are the publications and patents filed by us. And we were in the news too. So any questions? Hope I completed in 10 minutes. You can have a peaceful lunch. So these are my links. You can follow us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful presentation. Now, I request Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew, who is the TDE chair of oneM2M, to kindly felicitate our speakers. Right. Okay, okay. Anuradha, ma'am. Arindam sir. Andrew. Next is Mr. Neeraj Dhawan. And may I request Mr. Arindam to receive the memento on behalf of CDEC. Yes, he must be. Thank you. In interest of time, we'll be having a lunch for 20 minutes.